Well, we've seen Lydia get very involved this season. Her and Styles have formed a pseudo-detective agency. They really took down Motel California in a big way.
We tried to compete.
Speaking of Motel California, I would be remiss if I didn't just take a minute to commend Dylan's performance in that final scene of Motel California. It was incredible.
Are you uncomfortable yet?
Dylan, what did you like about what that scene meant for Styles?
For Styles, the character? I don't know. Oh, what a stupid mic. Get me off the panel.
The scene between you and Scott, that emotional moment.
Yeah, I guess I always answer it as myself because it was like that was such a Dylan Tyler moment, kind of first for us, you know. It was almost like the characters came second there, and that was just kind of like, you know, the biggest thing we've had to do as actors. I'm sorry. We're talking about something sweet here.
When this whole season first started and there was sacrifices going on, Styles was the one who sort of put together that virgins were being sacrificed, and he was very concerned about his safety in the world of Beacon Hills. I feel like we're not addressing the fact that someone needs to have sex with Styles immediately. I don't know if there's any volunteers. I'm unsure.
I can see a lot of volunteers.
Yeah, all right. We'll pick a winner. Raise your hand.
If you look under your seat, there's a number. 64 is the winner.
There we go. You got it.
No, but seriously, let's talk about, I mean, is this still a factor in the world of Teen Wolf, that there are these sacrifices going on, and it should be a concern for anyone who hasn't been there yet?
Well, I would say that the virgin sacrifices are over. The question of Styles' virginity, though, has yet to be answered, and will be answered, actually, in an upcoming episode.
So stay tuned for that. But, you know, it's also been an incredible season for Allison, I have to say. It really has. I love that she has taken the darkness she's sort of fallen into in season 2 and turned it into strength. We've seen a newly committed Allison, and Crystal, I would love to know what you've enjoyed about her journey in the first half of season 3.
Thank you, Jeff, for doing that. I think I had a lot to play with, and it's really fun as an actor to do that. But I think I enjoyed finding part of her mom in her, which was, you know, she's kind of crazy. And and Edie came back for a little bit, and so we chatted about our relationship and stuff, and I think that was fun for me to find those two things, like her mom and her dad, and what part she gets out of each of them. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there was a great moment. I like that you've done a really good job as a group in sort of keeping Scott and Allison apart and yet not separating them. I mean, it was important that although they're not together, they still continue to have a relationship this season, Jeff.
It's very important, and I think it's that feeling of first love that connects them. It will probably connect them for the rest of their lives. That we all have people like that in our life, and I think they're great together. And there's even in the closet scene, which was actually a scene I had planned on writing before we'd written a single script for the season. I just thought of this moment where they could connect physically.
But Allison is not the only one with love on the horizon. Somebody by the name of Derek has gotten a little love in this season for the first time in a long time. I was so caught off guard by how quickly I shipped you and Mrs. Blake. It's insane. I mean, I feel like everything about Derek has been strength and power and alpha, and this was such a vulnerable, sensitive side. Was that exciting for you to bring in this year?
Actually, for me, that is like the most exciting thing about season 3. I would say I think the biggest fear about being on a show is kind of getting stuck in a rut and feeling like you're doing the same thing over and over again. Jeff has done a great job with all of our characters, I feel like. Giving us like something new to play with. Yeah, he's good. And he gives us something new to play with, I think, every season. So for me this year, you know, exploring different sides of Derek and that more vulnerable side, and you know, finding out a little bit more about Derek and his past in this season has been something really fun to kind of play with. So hopefully everybody's enjoying it. It's fun for me.
I think safe to say. And it's just one of the things I'm obsessed with this season, but I have to say, I cannot get enough of Isaac living at Scott's house. I just can't. Daniel, the scene in last week's episode when you and Scott were watching over Mrs. McCall and you were sleeping at Scott's feet, kind of, was really adorable and amazing. What have you enjoyed about having him under the McCall roof this year?
Thank you. I love working with Tyler Posey just because it's great fun to do.
Half the room just went, he's British.
No, I think they knew. But just working with Pose, and we've had a good relationship, and it's I love being in the McCall house. It beats this person here. Thanks, Derek.
Bad host.
So it's lovely being in a loving family for once.
You're welcome anytime, my friend.
Thanks, Pose. Thanks, Pose. Yeah, thanks very much.
We had fun.
Thank you.
We had game night. You guys just never saw it.
Yeah, I was a bad roommate in the first place. I'm sorry.
You're messy. Very sloppy.